This video I will tell you the best way how to screw up any relationship, whether business, romantic, family, does not matter. These tricks will work magic on your life if you apply them, and if you decide that screwing up relationship is not your cup of tea, you can do the opposite, and I will touch upon that too. So the best way how to screw up any relationship beyond repair is not caring. So if you don't care about your customers, if you don't care about your parents, if you don't care about your loved ones, does not matter. There's no connection, there is no relationship possible. So whatever was there before, it's just going to ruin. And of course, if you don't care but other one person cares a lot, there might need a bit of time to screw this relationship completely, because the most persistent wins. And if you're persistent enough to not to care, does not matter how much other people care, you will find a way how to prove them beyond doubt that you really don't care. So, however, if you watch this video, I believe you're like me and you actually do care and you do want to make these relationships work. So what's the next best thing to screw up the relationships? So the next best thing to screw up relationship is to blame and expect. When I talk about blame, it's either giving blame or taking blame, and then expecting the other person will do something about it or behave certain way. And while you are in this state of mind of blaming, expecting, you're stuck. You're sitting duck and completely dependent on a goodwill and basically goodwill of the other person that you're having relationship or intending to have relationship with. And that's recipe for failure, because we all have egos, we all have our own issues, we have our own agendas. And what tends to happen when we blame, when we expect, we put off like a stench, like a really stink from ourselves energetically and emotionally, and repels other people. And obviously, unless those people care so much about us, it's more likely to send them away from us. And of course, that ruins the relationship, because if there's no connection, relationships go to waste. So, the idea is that yes, we know the direct, exact verbal and emotionally charged blames. Those are easy to detect, and that would be the easiest part to get over with, and simplest, not easiest. I always tend to mix them up. So it's simple because it's easy to detect. Once you hear yourself speaking something offensive, something that says, oh, you should be doing that, or did you do that? When you kind of have these expectations or orders, barking orders to the other people, you know you're in this energy, either as a villain or victim, expecting things, or basically expecting things, or blaming for unmet expectations. Where it gets a bit more interesting is when you observe these things happening solely within your mind. You might not even spoken anything yet, or you might have spoken something something that feels fairly neutral to you, but it didn't get received as neutral. So that's where the magic and mindfulness come into the play. When you think you're completely right, there's everything with you, everything's fine, but suddenly other person gets upset or whatever, frustrated, angry, and you kind of dumbfounded. What's happening here? I haven't done anything wrong. But the truth is, if the other person got upset and stayed upset, you obviously kept on feeding these emotions in one way or another. Otherwise, it would have died out quite easily. So the point is, there is something you can do to improve your relationships. Same goes for business. So if you suddenly have drop of customers coming in, and if you felt like you haven't changed anything, obviously something has changed. It could be as simple as change the environment. Suddenly prices went up and everyone has less income to spend, so your product is becoming less or service for that matter, less attractive. So something changed, and it makes no sense to blame the customers for them changing their routines, their buying habits, and your sales going down. Makes no sense, does it? However, we do tend to have this kind of mindset when it comes to and personal relationships. And the point is to always take your own personal responsibility for whatever happens. And the best way how to take personal responsibility is to manage your stress. Exactly. The best way how to get the relationships that you really enjoy, which are juicy, passionate, is to manage your stress. Make sure you always, or as much as you can, are in good, flowy mood. So artists, athletes, programmers call it flow state. Tony Robbins called peak state. Sometimes he calls him also feel good state. So point is, you feel good, you feel energized, and you take care of yourself holistically. So that means you take care of your mentally. So you think good, you speak good, and everything is with good intentions. You imagine things lovingly. Of course, as you imagine things lovingly, your emotions start up and you feel more love, expansion, ecstasy, joy, happiness. All these feelings multiply as you think better. And then, of course, in order to fuel all this creativity and thinking and emotions, you need to take care of your physical body. And physical body is fairly simple. All you need to do is rest enough, so you need to have adequate sleep, rest in between if there's any mental stresses, because sometimes exceptions happen. We all know we run our businesses, family lives, relationships, things happen. So we do tend to have once in a while some stress. The thing is, body needs to release that stress in one way or another. And rest is really, really important from mental point of view, emotional point of view, and physical point of view. Second thing you need to do with your body is to move. So you need to move, make sure that energy flows. Imagine your heart. If your heart stops, you die. If your blood flow stops, your life stops. So in order to have life, to be alive, you need to have flow. And the same thing goes for body. So your body needs to move. That means exercise. Yes, you need to exercise and stretch so your body moves deeply. If you just exercise but don't stretch, there are certain parts of your body that stay stuck and doesn't really move. So that's why I really, really love yoga, because yoga provides me everything that's necessary to have sustained movements and stretch. Well, maybe except dancing. Dancing is also a nice something I like to sprinkle into my movement strategies. So, except for dancing, yoga is the only thing that actually works well. Not actually true, but you get the point. You need to move and stretch, and sometimes just shake a bit, which is awesome, awesome stress release. So, and once you have taken care of your rest and movement, you have to nourish your body, and that could look like many, many different things. For example, nourishing body means eating well. So junk food doesn't really qualify as eating well. Eating too much doesn't qualify. So that means you have to eat enough, but not too much. You have to eat good and not too shabby. So you need to have good quality food intake. But it's not only food, because digestion is just one of ways how your body assimilates. So that means also light. You have to be exposed a certain amount of daylight, have enough vitamins D. You have to take shower to nourish your skin so it doesn't dry out. If you want, you can go for massages, creams, all these things, perfumes, cosmetics, everything. If that makes you feel good and your body gets nourished by that, do more of that, but not too much. Just do more of that or enough of that. So once you've taken care of yourself holistically, mind, body, emotions, you have a better chance of staying on top of your game and having all of your relationships flourish. Why? Because you avoided the biggest thing that's out there is blaming and expecting. And the best way how to do that is maintain peak state, flow state. Because once you're in those states, you're less likely to make bad decisions like blaming people. And if you do start making those decisions, you start getting out of the flow state. And as soon as you notice that you're out of the flow state, you realize you want to get back, and you automatically take the best decisions and make the relationships flourish. So that's it. Hope you really like this video and you gain some value. I really encourage you to research some stress management, regular tips, walking bare feet, being in nature, deep breathing, sleeping, dark rooms, all these things, biohacking. Research them and apply them, and choose at least one thing you're gonna apply and change your life in your own personal life and how you imagine your relationships becoming better. Hope you really enjoyed it. Hope to see you on the next one. Have a magical day. All the best.